Can you see that beautiful mountain behind me? You may recognize it from its pictures, but just in case you don't know, that is the Matterhorn. And in my opinion, it is unmatched in beauty. And why I love it so much is because it comes across as so dominant, so untamed, so raw. And part of it is because it stands alone. See, there's so many gorgeous mountains inside of Switzerland, but the Matterhorn is by itself. You don't see other mountains around it, and it seems completely bold and confident. Like there's no issue. It almost seems to know that like I'm the Matterhorn and I am slaying it. And because of that, it's totally become my role model. Like literally this mountain right here has inspired me to be able to stand alone for things that I believe in. And in a culture and society where there's a fascination with being different, but nobody actually wants to stand alone or be different, this is a good reminder of what it means and what it takes to be different, what it means and what it takes to distinguish yourself. It's not easy, and most people don't want to do it. I mean, they say they want to do it, but only in the way that everybody else has done it. For example, everybody's like, I want to get this unique and different tattoo, and then they get the same infinity tattoo or the same beard as everybody, or they talk the same way that everybody else talks, and so they think they're being different because maybe a generation ago didn't do it, but everybody in this generation's doing it, and that's truly not different. And that actually can become a problem, because if you truly want something that's different and that's unique and that's special, you can't do everything the way that everybody else around you is doing. In Matthew 7:13 and 14, it says, "Enter through the narrow gate, because broad and wide is the gate that lead to destruction, and many people find it." And then in verse 14 it says that narrow and straight and small is the gate that leads to everlasting life, but only a few people find it. See, peer pressure is not something that is isolated to just being in middle school, to not drinking alcohol and starting drugs during that time when everybody is experimenting. Peer pressure is something that happens throughout the whole human life. It happens when you're at work and you are making decisions and everybody does things one way, or whenever you're trying to compare your life and your standards. There's all this peer pressure that's in life to do things one way versus doing things another. And it can be dangerous, like literally dangerous. We've been walking through all of Europe and we noticed that groups attract groups. And sometimes you'll be at a stop sign or a red light and someone will just start walking and the group will just start following it blindly and not even pay attention to what's happening. And we so often do that same thing in our actual lives. We follow the groups and the crowds, and that can actually become very, very dangerous. But let's use this mountain as an inspiration and as a way to think about what it takes to truly be different. It's tough sometimes. You may be in a position when you're feeling very, very lonely and you're having to make decisions that nobody else may be doing. It may be something simple like, I'm gonna eat healthy while everybody else is throwing back tons of food in your face and you feel like, oh my gosh, is anybody at all trying to be healthy? Or you may be trying to make a workout routine and you have to wake up early, nobody else is doing it. Or maybe more serious, you may be deciding that you want to know God and that you want to follow your faith, but everybody around you is agnostic or doesn't know or thinks you're taking it way too seriously and you feel like you're alone. I know that I've been in that position many times before, but by deciding that I am going to go after something that not everybody else is doing has allowed me to experience things that not everybody else gets to experience. And I want to challenge you to do the same thing. I want to remind you of this mountain that stands behind me and stands so strong, and to look up to that as an inspiration, that when you make this decision to stand alone, to do things that not everybody else is doing, then you will hit things that not everybody else will get in their lives. Decide today that no matter who it takes me from, who it pits me with, no matter where I have to go across the world, if it's the right thing, if it's the thing that I know that I'm supposed to do in my heart, then I don't mind being alone. God says in James that if you draw close to him, he'll draw near to you, so that even in those times that you feel alone, you truly won't be alone. He will be with you and He will help you in those times. It is imperative that you make decisions that separate yourself. It is not only the right thing and the thing to do that will cause you to live a life of adventure and joy, it will also protect you from following crowds and going down that path of destruction that the Bible warns you about. I challenge you to do that today and to take this as an inspiration and as a model for your life, to stand alone and set yourself apart.